everyone, and welcome to Asian Viewpoints. I'm Mary Sitt. If you're an immigrant or refugee to Houston, you've probably heard of MAAM, Memorial Area Ministries. Whether you need help paying the rent, you want to learn English, or you want to become a citizen, MAAM is there to help. And here to tell us more is Sonja Gee. She's the president and CEO of Memorial Area Ministries. Sonja, thanks for being with us.
Glad to be here.
Can you tell me a little bit more? What is the mission of MAAM and how do you achieve that?
Yeah, wonderful. So MAAM's mission is to build stable families, a dynamic workforce, and healthy, vibrant communities together. And we stress that word together as part of our mission because we are a community-based organization. We've been serving the Houston community for 40 years now, and we were formed really by faith communities in our area who really wanted to help folks, families that were struggling, and they came together, they pooled their resources to be able to provide meaningful services. MAAM serves about 15,000 people each year. And
Wow.
So many of the folks that we serve, they are working, and some of them are working 2 or 3 jobs, but their wages really just aren't able to support themselves and their families. And so while, in the past, it was more of a support to help bridge people to the next step, really we're working to help people build resources, new skills, change their jobs and be able to get to a place where they can sustainably support their families.
Of all the services you offer, what is your most requested service?
Oh, that's a great question. One of our biggest, the most folks that are engaged in it is our benefits enrollment program. And so this is really allowing families in our community to access resources that are available for them. And what we see in our data is as families are able to access these public benefits, it gives them this, supplementary income or access to healthcare that they wouldn't have otherwise had. That really alleviates some of that stress and the challenges that they face to put the food on the table and to meet the basic needs. And it allows families then to access our other programs where they're in our employment services, trying to upskill and get a better job. They're in our English classes, trying to learn English to better integrate in their community, whether it's for their job or to talk to their children's teachers, or to access, other services. We have vocational trainings, we have mental health services, financial coaching. And so we see it's a combination of lots of different services, but that is one of our largest programs as far as the number of people that we serve.
You come from a family where your father is Chinese, your mother is of German descent, I believe, and they were both really strong community leaders. Tell me a little bit about how your background has influenced and informed what you do today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I tell often the story about my grandparents and, when they came to Houston, my grandparents and my dad were some of the first Chinese really in Texas. And so hard to believe that the Chinese community was, maybe less than 250 people at the time. But it continued to grow little by little. And one of the stories that I remember Dad telling us about was how my grandparents, they owned one of the first Chinese restaurants. One of the things that they did was because they were small business owners, they were able to help others in their community. And so when folks would come back, I remember him talking about, another family member who was involved in the war, a vet in the war. And when he came back, my grandparents would give him a place to stay in the back room of, of the restaurant, and they'd have a job there. And they could, when people would come, it would help them assimilate to get work, to speak a language, but more than anything, to connect with the people that were already a part of the Houston community. And that was a big value. And that's really what MAAM does today. We teach English. We help people connect to jobs. We, help them to connect with the community itself and see this as their new home and allow them to be a part of that. So that's been a big part of it. And, and then I grew up in a household where, Dad continued to be an incredible community leader, really in the Asian and especially the Chinese community here in Houston and beyond.
Your dad is Harry G, let's say his name, because a lot of people probably know him, right?
Yes. Yeah. And, so growing up in a household, seeing both mom and dad be the type of people that were always there, grateful for the opportunities they had and paying those forward to others. My vision of my dad is, just the many, many doors that he has opened for others, because, when he finished law school, he didn't have the opportunities that people today maybe have. Most firms weren't quite ready to hire women or to hire people of color. And so he faced some of those barriers, and he knew the meaning of being able to open up opportunities and connect people to them. And I think that's a part of the DNA of, the culture of our family. And also, in my case, my faith has definitely driven me to be in the work that I'm in, and really, be in a place where our calling, our mission really is to give back and to create opportunities for others to be successful. I'm able to see and live the experience of, what is it like to be a part of a community where there are so many folks around you supporting your positive growth and your opportunities toward the future. And so just having an opportunity to be able to provide those opportunities to others in our community it's a blessing.
So thank you so much, Sonja, for being with us and talking to us about MAAM. And if somebody wants to volunteer, what can they do?
Oh, absolutely. So you can look up on our website, www.maamhouston.org, and look for the volunteer tab and reach out. There's opportunities to be English teachers, to be job coaches, to do admin work. You can help out in the resale store. You can be a cashier or help sort clothes, anything, really just being a part of this incredible mission and knowing that whatever it is that you're doing, if you're giving of your time, if you're giving of your resources, if you're donating things to our thrift store, you are helping families in our community take steps towards their goals and dreams and becoming stable and productive and involved and active members of our community. So yes, we invite you to come and be a part of it.
That's great. Thank you so much for being with us, Sonja.
Absolutely. Thanks for the invitation.
If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button below and be sure to subscribe. I'll see you again in the next video. I'm Mary Sitt.